All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Fruits Basket, Season 3, Episode 11. I do think we are getting an official confession.
I think we are too.
Today, Caleb.
Yep. At the very least, some hand holding. From one whose hands are like this and the other ones are like...
yeah, exactly. I was going to say, no, we're getting much more than hand holding. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
We have, the struggles have been had. They have been persevered through. And now it's smooth sailing. Like we just have the...
Yeah, for the most part. I think that there's going to be some probable little bits of drama here and there.
Sure.
But the main thing with regards to Tohru and with regards to our boys seems to be resolved.
Indeed.
And now we head into a very, very beautiful time where they get to make progress.
Indeed.
Together.
And they are... And they can be alone and just talk without other things on their mind or interferences or anything like that.
Yeah.
And it will be beautiful.
And there will be a cheer squad in the background just going, woo!
Yeah.
Woo! You know,
Thank the Lord for that. I thought it would never happen.
all the amazing women in Tohru's life. Rin, Uo, Hana.
Yep.
Yes. Many others. But yes, I'm very, very, very excited.
Yes.
But there is still 3 episodes left.
There are, and that's kind of surprising. Like, it's like, okay, we're having this, and whatever happens in that conversation, which is going to be wonderful, but then it's like, wait, even if that was this whole episode, then there's still 2 episodes after that.
Yeah, there's just the main thing I would say that's a conflict that still is with a couple characters is the curse.
Oh,
I
thought you were going to say Shigure, but yes.
Well,
yeah.
He might only have a dog in one of these games, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
But no, the curse needs to be broken. That's kind of the last big thing.
That's true. Yeah.
But y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. All right, everyone, now be sure to go check out the reaction portion of the video in the description below, then come back here for the discussion. It's such a happy thing to have a story that's gone on for such a quite a bit amount of time, then come to a holistic, satisfying series of conclusions for all the characters involved, and now we're getting the fantastical side of the story, in some ways irrevocably severed. I could definitely see there being some mechanics of sorts that Akito is still bound by a little bit.
Maybe, but I think that
it's
gone.
I think that she will be free from here on out as well. And it's a scary, lonely, thought. But the immediate bit of how Tohru asks, "Well, let's go and see Akito then," and Hattori's there with the car, drives them over.
Yep.
Sees Akito, gives her a big hug.
Yeah.
And there we go. All right, cool. All right.
This episode gave me so many happy feelings, and I feel like now that I've seen the curse end, I can, with more emotional safety, rewatch the show. because
bro, you knew it was coming.
No, I know.
There's no way you doubted this show having a happy ending.
Of course not. But it's very different. It's a very different thing between knowing, okay, it's going to happen, and actually seeing it happen.
Experiencing
it. It's
I totally get you. There's an emotional foundation of certainty that comes from knowing that this is all going to be Daijobu. We're going to get our.
That's what the story's about. That's why it's here.
In a full circle here, and the fact that also from the love story side of things here, Kyo and Tohru are going to be entirely free to live their lives together. Kyo is not going to be caged up. He is not going to have to deal with the transformation into the monster. He is not going to have to hide his feelings in any way. Tohru is also not going to have to hide her feelings in any way. this is now the beginning of their story.
Like,
so I'm very
there were so many different things that brought catharsis. I am actually really glad that, like, narratively it also makes sense, but like I'm glad that we got the lore bit in this episode because I feel like that's a nice breather, right? Giving technical answers and explanations and insight into what happened, right? For the supernatural
things. It's very esoteric and romantic itself, though.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But like, because I feel like there are like a dozen things from the Tohru Kyo interaction that were just like story climaxes of their own. Like,
oh yeah, for sure.
You've got him ripping off the bracelet. You've got the actual, curse going away, right? You've got
the embrace.
Yeah. You've got the kiss. You've got the love confessions on both ends.
Yep.
You've got Tohru not being able to hide her emotions, and then that being, okay and like and something that's dealt with. Kyo apologizing, like Kyo asking for another chance.
Yes.
Which is like the epitome of him not running away, right? Like because there's not running away and accepting that he did screw up, right? Like that he because he was, not a perfect person, not some superhero, right?
And then chasing after her. That's another step of it.
Yep.
Letting her know that, he's not scared of her feelings. He's also not disappointed in her. And coming after her and all this here, then, softening everything, sitting down, kneeling in front of her, showing deference, and it's just
the
so
moment
beautiful.
and the decision to have that specific moment where Tohru like sees sparkles, and it's like, and these aren't just like casual sparkles. This is like the world is a sea of diamonds,
shoujo sparkles.
Oh yeah, like that. That's that was the perfect timing. Perfect timing for it. Like
yes.
And then also seeing Toru's perspective as all of this stuff happened, right? Because the idea of seeing Kyo and he has his realization and his progression from the previous episode. He comes up, he sees Tohru, she runs away. Yeah, we want to see what Toru's response is because we want to see exactly how Kyo's words affected her because they would, right? Like. And the idea that she was even like, I'm going to practice, smiling so that I can make sure I smile. I don't want to be a burden.
I don't want to disappoint him.
I don't want to disappoint him again. Like all of these things. And it's just like, no, girl, you're good.
You're good.
And then on top of that, once the curse goes away, then we get to see all the cathartic moments with the other characters, getting to see Ayame just immediately the Chad just run up and be like, Mine, and he just hugs her and is like, I was born to love you. Yeah. Holy shit. I
can say it now.
Yeah, I can say it now. Like,
it's so perfect because a lot of the characters that are, kind of in their kind of romantic engagements and stuff, or at the very least, have, strong feelings for each other. They are very closely connected or actually just involved in the zodiac.
Yep.
Like there's a lot of that specifically. That's why I really loved Hattori and Ayame's situations where theirs are with people that are very definitively outside the zodiac. Now, obviously, Toru's not the zodiac.
Right.
But
Yuki's about to have a situation with someone outside the zodiac.
There's so much of that I want. I want the next episode to really, really focus on Shigure, though. I think it's time now that Akito has sundered this. It's time. It's time.
Like
Shigure and Akito.
Well,
let's make this happen.
And yes, Shigure and Akito, because they definitely need to talk. But
that's the thing. It's going to be a conversation.
It's going to be a conversation. But there's also I feel like because Shigure is he's got a pretty good handle on himself, all things considered. He has his problems for sure, but he knows the kind of person that he is, I feel like we could also get some pretty great moments of Shigure just on his own, like thinking to himself and being like, okay, so.
Well, that's kind of what we got. Of like, that's what that feels like.
Right, exactly. Yeah. So
I'm excited for that. But yeah, this episode gave us just everything we could have wanted from the Tohru Kyo angle, and then we segued from that rather quickly into the idea of Tohru, kind of narrating the story of the god and the zodiacs, and the revelation that the cat was the first friend, the first kind of companion, or one to bring the idea of connection to this god being. I really like, because the pain that the cat spirit zodiac kind of bore seemed to be of something where there was a rejection of this kind of forced family, you know? And yet I kind of thought about this a lot. The idea of, well, wait, just because it's something where it's bad, you know, now it probably has more to do with the forced, the compelled aspect of it, not the actual bond itself. And that's why I really love that when all of them have their bonds break, they all cry. They all feel the pain of it, because it's not that they didn't want it to break. It's that, the feeling of not having that sense of security and safety in a guaranteed connection, even if the connection itself is toxic as fuck.
Sure.
The reason why it was that way was not just because connection is bad. It's the no, we didn't have a choice in this regard. And so that being the empirical beginning of where things kind of went askew, with the cat being like, why did you make me drink that?
Right.
Why did you make me have to be a part of this? I loved our time together. It was beautiful. We had so much time together. Don't try and keep things exactly the same as if that's the main thing that we can get out of connection. Connection is multiplicative. It goes beyond the adding of people into a room. Things expound beyond and from that aren't based on the simple arithmetic of adding people into a family. Right. And so I loved that now in some ways we kind of come full circle, and we're starting a new family with Tohru in some ways as the new center focal point for all the connections to not necessarily come around Tohru, but to come around each other and build something fresh. Yeah. And Akito being immediately accepted into that by Tohru going herself and being like, yes, I'm going to immediately extend the hand, the embrace. And I fucking love it.
One of the things that I was wondering if they were implying with when the curse was broken, when they specifically showed Haru and Rin. Yeah. When Rin felt it break, and then she looked towards Haru, of course, because it's the, all right, like that's it.
You too?
Yeah, right, exactly. Like, his, I believe, was already broken at that point. Or
no. All his had frayed a little bit.
That's right.
But his hadn't actually broken.
Yes, his hadn't actually broken, right? But I wonder if, and I'm not sure about this from a supernatural mechanics perspective, but they also potentially lose connection with each other because they were all together part of the zodiac, right? Sure. So now it's something where theoretically they also lost, like there are feelings that they shared together that are not there anymore, and so like there's something that's being like given up, but then that's okay because they still have each other and they can the world is their oyster, the future is what they will make of it,
Right. In a way that I see it is that the spirits within them were allowed to pass on.
Sure.
In a way that the cat was basically one that died first, joined up with the god first. The cat passing away and that being a happy thing, meaning that you don't have to have this be a moment of where now the relationship is suddenly over because the convenience of that is no longer there. I kind of liken it to a family where everyone grows up and starts making their own families.
Sure.
And then you have people that end up moving or living in such a situation where it's not easy for them to actually go and visit. And then the family is like, no. You must visit. on Christmas. You must visit on this time. And then the family's like, I will try next year, but I can't do it. No, I'm starting my own family, and that's...
I won't do it.
Yeah. And there's also, yes, I won't do it. But that's the thing, is that from there, it's the freedom upon which you can then go, how about let's take turns?
Sure.
How about a couple of you come visit me? Mm-hmm. And there's something really sweet in that when the compelled aspect of it is gone, you're able to build something that doesn't have to be confined by the original restrictions of the beautiful connection that was there by being family, because family is beautiful, but family can, through a compelled medium, can absolutely become soured and the connection be ruined.
The most precious aspect of the cat's thing with the god was that, it never left. It could have.
Right.
But it didn't.
Yeah.
It absolutely could have.
Absolutely could have.
But it chose to stay there.
Yeah.
Right? If you take that away, what do you have?
Yeah. Love is not obligatory.
No.
Like, I feel like it's something that is... I feel like that it's something that's a lesson that a lot of the characters learned here is with regards to obligation. And it might even be a thing that's accented a bit more by these characters because of some aspects of the giving nature of a lot of people with regards to Japanese culture and respect. The idea of showing deference to other people all the way down to the types of words you use to speak to people. And that Tohru is kind of the perfect example of that, making mention of things like, how, with Yuki, like, how's the laundry pile? Like, how are the obligations that I have maybe let you guys down in? You guys should totally be able to, handle yourselves. You're fucking adults.
Right.
But, but that being a thing where she then is feeling obligated to look out for these specific things. If the Zodiac family is essentially bound by specific obligations to the past that they no longer remember, that's essentially a curse. That's something that doesn't have any weight or meaning to them anymore. And it's kind of like they're all trained by each other, kind of going, well, this is how we've always done it. And the cat was in some ways the first domino, the one that started the motion and started the wish to break this. And thus Tohru got what she wanted all the way back in the beginning of the show of wanting to be the cat.
Right.
Because
wanting the cat to have its happiness.
Right. She was the one that in some ways broke this. Her introduction into the story is basically the curse breaker. She's the one that solidified that end, if you will. Yeah. A lot of other people were involved, of course.
Right. Akito letting go of the curse and all that
exactly.
stuff. Right. But she was the
instigator.
Exactly.
The catalyst. Probably is more. Yeah. Catalyst.
God damn it.
Yeah.
Man.
So beautiful. And I'm really, really now curious if the next episode is going to be like, because this is something that I could see them doing. The next episode feels like let's have Akito and Tohru hold a new type of banquet, a new type of party.
Yeah.
Bring everyone together, and it's going to be under a completely new context. They're not going to be obligated to join or what have you, but we're going to send out invitations, and it's going to be bigger than just the Zodiacs. They're going to invite everyone in the estate to the thing there. Akito can make some really big declarations. It can be really exciting. And then from there, I almost feel like you could either end the episode or focus a little bit more on little conversations that pop out as people are all given the opportunity to be in the same physical location.
Yeah.
Because writing-wise, that is something that is holding this story back pacing-wise, is that certain characters don't have reasons to interact with each other because, well, they're not all in the same place. But also that's a part of the themes of the story, and that the family has been disjointed because of the abuse and the suffering that has come about because of this obligated connection. I think so now them getting the choice to come over could be cool to see specific characters be like, no, I'm not going to that.
Sure.
And that would be totally of their like volition or something like that.
Yeah.
I
think a banquet with the curse not being a factor anymore would definitely be a powerful moment.
Yeah.
I think it has a high likelihood of happening, given that there's 2 episodes left.
For sure.
Something else that I think has a very high likelihood of happening, given that there's 2 episodes left, and the show can decide however much time it wants to do this, spend on doing this. But where are they now?
Yes. A time skip.
A time skip.
Yes.
With us getting to see them, and
How much older? 5 years?
5 years, 10 years? I don't know.
I think 5 years is perfect.
I think 5 years is probably around what they're going to go for, but I think I will die of happiness when that happens.
I think I will melt.
I am actually not sure how my body will be able to take it.
Yeah. I will become basically water and just
Yep. Like just so
I could see them also saving that for like the very, very, very end.
Oh,
like
totally.
The end of the last episode, you know?
Yep. Because again, it could be a 2-minute scene theoretically, right?
Theoretically,
but the fact that there's 2 episodes left in the show and all of the the big ticket things that need to be done kind of have been done, I really appreciate that because you would hate for a story as wonderful as Fruits Basket, with all of the things that have been set up in Fruits Basket, to have anything that felt even close to a rushed ending.
Sure.
And I feel like this is something where, the struggle has been long and arduous, and now the celebration can be long. So. Yeah.
I mean, what else is there to say other than I really, really am glad that the show is, one that used this layer or this
approach.
This bit of indirection, if you will, to the story of family trauma, abuse, and emotional damage, really.
Yeah.
Through this supernatural aspect of the zodiacs, because thinking back on it, it's probably the thing that is the most marketing aspect of this story.
Sure.
Like it doesn't have
having a supernatural aspect definitely helps with the marketing.
It helps also expedite certain things, and I feel like because it's there, we're able to have not a rushed ending, but a fast ending.
Right, exactly. Because the conflict is easy to quantify, and it's easy to be able to say the conflict is resolved because the curse is gone, right?
Right. A story of this nature wouldn't end this quickly with the characters being held in a sacred way.
Right. You wouldn't know if Akito had actually let go. Right.
Yeah.
It would just be something of okay, I think he has maybe, or she has, but then it would be something where you'd probably need a year or so to be fully sure.
You would almost need to rely on a time skip a bit.
Yeah.
Say that the path had been started on all these characters, but now the walking of it is going to take time.
And that's where I think the Where Are They Now can also be doubly helpful, because then it won't just be nostalgic, but it can also show that the curse is gone and the paths that these characters embarked on, with their own separate journeys or together with certain, other characters and stuff.
Sure.
We can see how that progresses and, where that took them and all of that good stuff.
Yeah. All right. I want all the mushy, gushy, goopy, gooey, funny, awkward fluffiness from Tohru and Kyo so much.
Oh, yes. Them specifically.
I want them specifically to be the most just dorkable, doofuses, just so in love and just tripping all over each other. It's just I can't.
So the reason why there's a part of me that hopes that it'll be more than 5 years, it could happen with 5 years too, but is because if we see their kids or any of
Jacob just wants the cast to go from 25 to 70, all of a sudden.
No, not 25. No. But if we see a Kyo Tohru kid,
I will yes.
I will die of happiness. I will ascend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you. I will say also, the way in which we kind of followed up on the episode prior to this by having Kyo then go to Kazuma, his true father.
And the look on his face.
And the look on his face as he saw that the bracelet was gone. It's just so happy. I'm just really glad that this show gave us characters like Kazuma.
Yes.
Because there are a few characters
we needed
that were insufferably painful to experience.
Oh, yeah.
And having characters like Uo, Hana, Kazuma just gave us such a good feeling. And also just all the comedy. But yeah. I want to see Tohru and Akito also like linked in the like bonds of like sisterhood going forward into whatever this brave new world is, and I'm really excited about that. So that all being said, next episode's gonna be a doozy. I can feel it.
Next episode is gonna be a doozy, and there's gonna be a part of me that will be very sad when this show ends.
Oh yeah,
but like
yeah, of course,
because of course, right?
But also apparently there's a movie coming.
Apparently there's a movie, but regardless, as the cat taught us, all good things do come to an end.
Yeah. I love anytime creators or writers will poke at the idea of endings in a meta way.
Right.
It's not necessarily meant to be solely a meta thing, but it's just something where it's like, oh, I have to write the line this way, just for my own little sense of humor.
Yep.
Like, yes. No, just thank you. Thank you for watching the show all the way to the end. The god being almost like addressing the audience. Like, you know, thank you for this time together. It was wonderful.
Yep.
So now let's get into the finale.
That's right.
Yeah. So y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.